All right, friends, welcome to Webinar Wednesday. Today I'm talking about confidence, and the name of the webinar is What the Fuck is Confidence and How to Create It in Yourself. Let's get started. Here's our quote to start. You're going to work anyway, you'll be stressed anyway, life will throw you obstacles anyway. You might as well be doing it towards something that fills your soul. Challenges are going to come in your life regardless. You want to live your life doing something you love. You want to live your life doing something that you're passionate about. But the reason most people aren't doing that is because of fear, which is the opposite of confidence. And that's what we're doing today, is we're learning about what confidence is, how to create it in yourself, and some sneaky techniques that'll make that happen for you. So what you will learn: what the fuck is confidence? Learn why your mind-body has a disconnect between what you want and how you actually feel. Why courage is more effective than confidence. We're going to learn how to use your body to shift how you feel. And most importantly, we want to take one of your goals or challenges or dreams, and we want to create some confidence around it for you. And that's what we really want from this webinar, turn into more of a masterclass, maybe, whatever you want to call it. Who is this for? I've just put some words up there, really. This is for people who are procrastinating, if nothing else. This is for people that are not taking action on things they really want to take action on, which is what confidence does. So procrastinating, if you're negative, if you're always saying, I can't do that, if you're saying, I don't know how, that's who this is for. Don't miss anything out, fearful, hiding. And we want to get people to a state of action. That's my main goal here. Get people moving. Once you're moving, you can course adjust and all those things. Once you know how to get yourself to move, everything becomes much nicer in the world. When you're stuck and bogged down and lost in life, that's when it's very uncomfortable and frustrating. Why listen to me? Okay, I'll throw, there's a few of my, what do you call them, certificates. I'll go back through them. Neuro-linguistic programming, master practitioner in NLP, in hypnotherapy, timeline transformations. I got a diploma in life coaching, certificate 4 in fitness. I spent a lot of money learning how the mind works and how to coach people. Not to say that makes me good at it, it's just that's what my passion is. I'm interested, and mainly for myself. I've always wanted to learn how to be better at getting myself in action. This is more why I've got some credibility, because I'm a state title holder in Muay Thai, the Northern Territory title holder. I used to bull ride. So I've done my time facing my fear. In fact, I call myself a fear coach because I've spent my time, I hate being fearful, and I spend a lot of my life fearful. And it's my real mission, purpose, passion to get myself out of fear and then help others do the same, particularly helping men do the same. There's my 2 businesses. Fear Coach is my one-on-one coaching, helping people, because I believe fear is the only thing that stops us going after what we really love. And Extreme Stillness, which is men's mindset boot camps, taking men to the bush and working on these things plus everything else. So this is for you to start doing some work. We want you to choose a goal or a topic you want to be confident in. So for men, basically everything's going to come down to power or freedom. All right, you're going to want more women or more success, which might be money, might be financial, might be, more likes on Instagram. That's all power based, like wanting powerful. It's nothing bad. This is what the masculine wants, is to be powerful. But ultimately, power is to guide you towards freedom, because you might also want to be confident in being a better father, or talking to your children, or talking to your partner. And that's more about freedom. You want freedom from restrictive emotion, stress, guilt, whatever it is. Confidence is the antidote to both those. Not so much the antidote, it's the opposite to both of those. So most likely you're going to want power or freedom. But choose one thing. Choose one thing you want to work on through this webinar right now that you want to feel more confident in, so we can actually get some real action steps in process. Think of an area where you see others being confident and you think you can't. Yeah. Oh yeah, so I've got a picture of James Bond here, a rough picture of him, because all of you, apart from James Bond, we all have somewhere we want to be confident. The thing is, we look outside ourselves at other people that are confident and we think, I can't do that. But most likely they've got something that you can do well that they say, I can't do that. So you're never going to have the full picture. You're going to focus your life getting confident on certain things, and you're not going to have the full picture, the full circle. So it's normal to be good in some things and be crap in other things. You might be good in IT, you might be crap at women, you might be good with money, you might be crap at starting the business, like getting into action. So You can have confidence issues somewhere, just find out where yours are. Don't be bummed out that you need them. It's just everyone needs some confidence somewhere. This is kind of important though. Even though this is a confidence webinar, seminar, whatever you want to call it, this is super important. Confidence does not equal performance. Okay, this is a picture of Alan Watts in his book, The Way of Zen. The reason I write this is because working with myself before Muay Thai fights, working with fighters, getting their mindset right, just because you're confident, if you know you're fighting, think about Conor McGregor or Israel Adesanya, these guys who are super confident losing fights. Being confident does not mean you're going to get the performance you want. So confidence really makes you feel good and helps you get into action, which is what I want to get most of you guys, but doesn't necessarily mean you're going to perform well. It's super important to know that. The reason I've got these two guys here, or these two pictures here, Alan Watts in his book, The Way of Zen, before a bull ride, I used to, you feel nervous before a bull ride, obviously. It's like you're stuck in a cage, metal cage with up to a ton animal, and then you get let out into an arena strapped to his back. So there's physical fear involved with that. Before a bull ride, I've learned my NLP, which is like how to program your brain. I've learned these techniques, and so I used to try to don't feel nervous. Try and get yourself in a good state. Try and get yourself pumped up, thinking that would make me feel good. In truth, as I say that, as I'll get to later on, we want more confidence to feel good rather than we want the performance. So that used to be my mindset. Don't feel bad, get in a good state, don't show any weakness, get in a good state. Same as before a fight. And then I read this book by Alan Watts called The Way of Zen. This is about Taoism. I'm all about Taoism. It's a yin yang there. The Way of Zen basically goes down. I think I've got a quote here too. I do. Zen is a way of liberation, concerned not with discovering what is good or bad or advantageous, but what is. It's about the isness. After reading this book, I had a bull ride. And so feeling nervous behind the chutes, ready to get on my bull, I realized that, okay, I've been reading this book on Taoism. Don't try and change it, just accept the isness of it. Don't try and change it or force it. So I'm feeling nervous. How do I know that me feeling this way isn't the best way I need to feel for me to perform well? And so I came second in the bull ride that day, and something shifted in my mind. And it makes it a bit more stressful maybe, but now in all my fights, I don't try and feel something. If I'm in the back room, all the training is done by that point. I can't train anymore. I even to think about training or how I'm going to fight at that point, it's too late for that. You know, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before the fight, it's too late for that stuff. It's time to trust that you've done the right work, done the right practice, done the right training. Me getting nervous and getting pumped up and trying to change things now is not going to work. So now what I do is I read a book. If I feel adrenaline coming up through my system for the fight, I slow my breath down. I take control of my body and say, now's not the time. I may as well, me feeling nervous may be exactly the thing I need to do to perform well. So I'm feeling doubt, I'm feeling nervous, I'm feeling scared. All okay. So I allow myself to go with that. 2 weeks out, you have a chance to train. Okay, you have a chance to practice and do work on that. But the day of the fight, just go with Zen. Go with the way of allowing what is. So why do you want to feel confident? This is what I'm getting to here actually in this webinar. As much as I'm going to teach you about confidence, we're going to talk about courage and confidence being intertwined. Oh. We're going to talk about courage and confidence being intertwined, okay? The reason you want confidence most likely is so that you don't feel stressed or uncomfortable or fearful moving forward, because it feels shit. And so we tend to hide from those negative, uncomfortable emotions and we don't take action. If you're procrastinating, it's probably to do with fear. If you're holding back on a goal that you've been saying for ages, I want to do, but you're not doing it, probably because of fear. So confidence is, in my terms, is the disregard of fear. That's what confidence is. So when we're going through this system here, I want you to understand, why do you want to feel confident? Is it to perform well? Because it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to perform well just because you're confident. You can be confident and lose. You can be confident and have a bad. So feeling bad might make you perform well just as well as confidence does. So really, most likely why you want to feel confident is so you can take action, because you are more likely to take action when you're feeling free and without restrictive emotion. So we're going to talk about that later on. It's good to get clear on why you want to be confident, because it doesn't necessarily lead you to what you want if you're clear on what you want. So there's a few quotes. This is something I've been saying a lot lately. Courage is the currency of men. Okay, so in my opinion, courage is the modern man, and probably men of all time, it is what gives you value. If you don't have the courage to step into stuff that is scary or restrictive or uncomfortable, then you're always going to be at the mercy of other people. You're going to be an employee. You're going to get pushed around. You're not going to be able to forge your own path, because you're going to get pushed around where it's easiest, the least amount of emotional resistance. So without fear, there can be no courage, right? That's the other quote there. What I often say to men is that we think fear is weakness. Fear is normal. It's good to feel fear. It's healthy to feel fear. It's what you do with fear that makes the man. Courage is when you feel fear, but you keep stepping forward. Whether it's in business, whether it's chasing women, if it's trying to get the woman of your dream, if it's making money, if it's selling, if it is sticking your head out for what you believe in, even when people around you are going to cut you down for it. This is courage. So in my opinion, courage and confidence are intertwined, and courage is the actual currency you want more than confidence, because as I said earlier, confidence doesn't actually mean it's going to give you the performance you want. What you want is the courage just to act despite what you feel, because that's going to get you further. So let's talk about this whole courage, confidence thing and what I'm talking about here. The body-mind system. Just so you know, if you've been watching my webinars, they cover the same thing every single time with a different flavor on what I'm talking about. But this thing is going to come up every single time. We talk about the mind, we talk about the body. That's normally how we talk about it, okay? We talk about the mind, we talk about emotions. But they are all one organism. You are one being. Your brain is on top of your spinal column. A spinal cord runs down the spinal column into your brain, and that spinal column separates and connects to your nervous system, as in your organs, your skin. You can feel pain, all that sort of stuff. It's through the same system. Different organs, same system. So you might say, my mind, my body, but they're really the same thing, and you interchange them. You can use your mind to control your body. You can use your body to control your mind. We're going to talk about that later on as far as confidence goes. Breath, which I'm doing right now because I was thinking about it. Your breath is the gateway from your mind to your body, because if you stop thinking about it, your body breathes itself. But if you think, you can change your cadence, your depth, everything of your breath. You can access your unconscious, you can access your body. If my mind is fearful negative thoughts, I can use my body. I have control over my breath to slow down, which is what I do before a fight, to slow down my breath. And as I slow down my breath, it slows down my heart rate, which tells my brain it's okay, there's less stress, it's okay, it's safe now. Don't have to have negative, and my mind becomes more positive. This is another topic on stress we'll talk about in another webinar, but understand there's one system here. And in understanding one system, understand what the system's job is. This is your nervous system, everything here, the brain, the skin, the organs, your body, it's all your nervous system. It is here to keep you alive, it's here to keep you safe, it's here to reproduce. Number one is you alive and safe. If you are attacked by a lion and you're dead, it doesn't matter if you're confident in walking through the bushes, okay? If you walk through the bushes timidly and there's a rustle in the bushes and you are scared of a lion or whatever it is and you run, but you're alive and it actually was a lizard, is better than if you're confident or maybe fearless walking through the bushes, a sound in the bush doesn't scare you and it's a lion, you're eating, you're dead. It wants you alive. When you're alive, you can reproduce, including fighting flus, including eating and digesting. Everything is part of you being alive. But it will put your safety first, because you can digest food later. That's why people shit when they're scared. Scared. People shit themselves, dogs shit themselves when they're scared, because their body's trying to expel that stuff so you can run at that point. We'll find food later on, hopefully. We need to be alive to find it. So number one is your survival. There's no research to show why we're so scared, though, of social rejection. There's theories. The theory is that we are tribal animals. If you are socially rejected, you're kicked out of the tribe, and that might mean death. I think it seems a bit too plausible. But regardless of why it is, the why doesn't matter, social rejection is huge for humans. So in today's world, you are more fearful of social rejection than you are of any physical fear. We're very physically safe, in the Western world at least. You're not going to get attacked normally by animals or humans. You are more likely overfed than underfed. You're more likely to hurt yourself by what you're putting in your body than anything else. So really, social fear is the fear you're going to work with right now, and confidence. It's going to be around social fear as far as like being able to talk to women and attract women, to sell to other people even if you might get rejected, to be big in business, to stick your head out, all this sort of things. It's going to be social rejection that you're going to want confidence for. So for whatever reason, our nervous system is just as worried, nervous, scared of social rejection as it is of physical fear. The reason I'm saying all this is you've got to know this. Don't shame yourself or think you're broken because you're scared of social anxiety. It's completely normal. It is possible to overcome it through work if you want to. We'll do some of that work today. But don't shame yourself or break yourself down because you're scared of what people think of you. That is normal. You can choose to work on that if you want to. But understand your nervous system wants that. It wants you to be part of a social group. We think that's why it's so scared of social rejection as well as physical fear. So we're going to work mostly today with social rejection. Right. Courage, confidence, and the game of men. So I just want you to imagine a thought experiment here. This is sort of based on simulation theory that we are potentially in a video game. You're being played by your soul or your higher being or by a completely other distant creature on like a video game. You're being played. Just like we can play Grand Theft Auto and we can go into Grand Theft Auto and play a video game in the game, a game in a game, in a game. You can play pinball in Grand Theft Auto and you're the one playing the guy. Maybe someone's playing us and we don't know. This is simulation theory. If it is true, if that is the case, it's still a game, right? And this is a thought experiment for you to consider. This is a game where perhaps we have gotten so bored with Grand Theft Auto and the ability just to die and have a life and respawn again that we want to live something more higher stakes. So you're living a life where not only can you die, literally die, you're scared of dying, but you feel fear, you feel emotions, you feel sadness, anger, all this stuff that makes us act different to robots, even though we might be robots. Because if we were just robots, we just do what we say we're going to do. But emotions and stuff get in the way. That's why confidence, you want confidence. Because you want to act on what you say you want to act on. So consider this as a game. And it's meant to be hard. The emotions stuff are meant to hold you back. They're meant to be barriers and challenges in the way. Consider that. See if it serves you in making life easier or more fun or more playful. Expect it's going to be a challenge. And expect it's going to be challenging going outside your comfort zone. Okay? I've got a picture here, just the picture of the comfort zone there. This is... Understand that humans naturally want to stay inside our comfort zone. We just spoke about the nervous system. If you're safe and you're alive, your nervous system wants to keep you there. Maybe you might step outside your comfort zone to reproduce if you're not getting it, but safety is going to be number one, survival is number one. So once your nervous system's happy there, why would you step outside that comfort zone? And this is the beauty and the challenge of being a man, the masculine testosterone. We are more driven to step outside the comfort zone. We have a drive through, I don't know, whether it's adrenaline or whatever, we're more likely to take risks. And there's something inside us pushes it to that, which is a beautiful thing. So you're more likely to step outside your comfort zone, but there is fear. So you can treat fear as the enemy. And every time you feel fear, that means you're weak or you're broken or you're soft. Or you can treat fear as a powerful resource. And I'm going to talk later about cliff jumping. When you are egged on by the boys to jump off a cliff jump that's too scary, or anything that's scary, and the boys have already done it and you're the only one left over, it scares you to death, but it's a powerful resource. Once you jump, you get a huge rush of emotions, positive endorphins. Stepping through fear is a power resource. On the other side of it is power inside yourself. So when you get the ability to use courage, which is stepping through fear when it's still there, there's a power resource. Confidence is the ability to help you take that step. But either way, you have to go through the fear part at some point if you're going to step outside. And something I didn't say earlier is, if you're not feeling fear somewhere in your life, if you don't need to muster confidence or courage in your life, you're not living fully, most likely. You're living inside your comfort zone. So use that as motivation. If you're like, no, I'm confident all areas of my life, you're probably not really living fully. You're not making big enough goals or stepping outside your comfort zone, or you've gotten comfortable and you're at a high point in lots of areas of your life. And if that's the case, you will find there'll be something bubbling inside you asking you to do more, and you've got to step into that fear, use that courage. So this is action point number 1. This is for you to do some writing, at very least do some fucking thinking about it. If you're expecting challenges on the way, which I just spoke about, if you want to be confident in something, again, think about what your goal is. What are a list of 10 expected challenges on the way? And as you start writing those things down, understand that almost all of them are going to be emotional. They're all going to be based on, because I did this this morning before I did this webinar on my own stuff, which is about selling my boot camps. And all the things I wrote down is, I'm scared of being rejected. I'm scared of looking like a salesman. I'm scared of not being genuine, and then friends not feeling trustworthy around me because I'm trying to sell them all the time. So it's all emotional stuff that I feel uncomfortable. That's the 10 things, all were things about I'm scared of feeling uncomfortable. I don't want to feel uncomfortable. And the confidence meant to be the antidote for those things. So as you write a few things down here, understand what challenges are in the way of this goal you're talking about, this thing you want to be confident in. Have a clear end goal, like something you want. Is it a girlfriend? Is it $100,000? Is it a thriving business that you can sell, whatever, but something clear, not just a successful business. Let's get more clear. And what are the 10 things that are going to be in your way? Because someone different to you is going to have different challenges on the way to that same goal. They're going to have a different goal as well, but they're going to have different challenges on the way. So if you want to pause this now, pause it, but put down 10 reasons. Now, why beats how? Here's my quote. This is what I believe. Confidence is the disregard of the fear of failure. That's what I believe. Now, if you think about confidence, here's the thing about confidence. People want confidence. You've all felt a time when you've been not confident doing something, unconfident, fearful, whatever. And there's been a time you've been confident doing the same thing and it's so much easier. And you're like, what changed there? Most likely what actually changed there is your stress levels were way lower in the confident one. When we're stressed, we're more negative. We're focusing on what could go wrong. This is our nervous system trying to keep us safe. When we're not stressed, we're more likely to take risks, or the risks don't even seem that high. So that's what's most likely. If you actually want to learn about confidence, you want to learn how to dump your stress, get rid of your stress, which is dumping emotions. But the disregard for fear is what makes confidence. We're going to talk about this later, but the mental picture of you succeeding is confidence. The mental picture of you failing is lack of confidence. And we're going to talk about this shortly, but know why you want this. Know why, because you're going to have to. Confidence, courage, whatever it is, it's easier to stay inside your comfort zone. Even if money, success, women, whatever it is that you feel is going to light you up, it's still easier to stay inside your comfort zone. So regardless, if you want to be confident doing that thing, you're going to have to get outside your comfort zone. And you might have confidence, you might not. You're going to have to use your courage as well, which is stepping into the fear zone. So you've got to have a strong why for that. Fear is not shameful, all the things I've said already. So get clear on what your why is for why you want to do this, and that's what we're going to do in this next little segment here. Without fear, there can be no courage. Know your why. Write down why each of these challenges ahead is worth going through. Of those 10 things you wrote down, write why you would be willing to put yourself through that challenge. Is it to get laid more? Is it to get the dreamy girl of your dreams? Is it to get $1 million? And why do you want the $1 million? Is it, what is it worth going through that amount of discomfort for? Because once you're clear that you're willing to go through discomfort for the thing, you expect discomfort, and that changes everything. That's when you can start to master confidence. But if you are not expecting challenges, if you're not expecting it to be hard in the way, one, you're not choosing a goal big enough, and two, you're delusional, right? You're delusional to the fact that life gives you challenges. It's meant to be hard. It's meant to be a challenge. That's the fun part of it, because you've got to grow through your challenges. So get clear on the why. Get clear on why you're willing to go through those challenges that you've written down there. And then if you want to go to the next level, this is how much time you're willing to put into it. Then you start writing down a few for each, a strong why for each reason. There's just how much time you want to put into it. Pause it and do those things. For each of those reasons, at least one reason why you want to go through it. One reason why it's worth having that discomfort. Mental pictures, mind confidence. Again, here's the quote. Confidence is the disregard of the fear of failure. The people who are naturally confident in something, they just don't see themselves failing yet. Through whatever, through nature, through nurture. You might see, for example, I played mixed volleyball this week, and an old belief came in that I'm bad at sports. I've got bad hand-eye coordination. And I've done mental work since then. So I had to okay, that's a limiting belief here. And the limiting belief makes me get nervous. So I'm mentally seeing myself fail. So I had to stop every time I served, envision the ball going where I want it to go. I'm mentally imagining the success rather than the failure. If I let my mind go wild in my own belief system, it's going to have me failing. It's easier if we don't get into situations where we fail and look crappy and don't succeed and get hated on or laughed at. Just don't get into situations. Live in the comfort zone. Your nervous system wants that. But if you're going to live a full life, if you're feeling depressed or anxious, most likely it's because your body, even though it's trying to keep you safe, your soul or your spirit or your heart is saying you got to fucking live a little more, in my opinion. So confidence is disregard of the fear of failure. And so mental pictures, mental confidence is about seeing what you want to have happen in advance. It is actually just that simple. It is that simple. When there's too much emotion trapped up in there though, we really struggle to see what we want. You've got to practice visualizing. But I learned this in a powerful way. I went along to a pickup course. I learned how to pick up women when I was, 24, 25. I felt like I wasn't getting laid enough. So I paid money to go to America to go study with the yadda, which is that picture there. Which is maybe kind of embarrassing to admit, but I did it because I wanted more. So in this course, it wasn't like a sleazy pickup course. It's all about charm, charisma, and being just a more fun guy to be around, in fact. But what they taught us in particular that I've taken on here, as far as confidence goes, is that when you go to approach beautiful women, if you don't go straight away, you let your mind run free, like I just talked about. If you're not confident or you've had past failures and you've got pain inside your body around that, you are going to imagine it going wrong because your brain is saying, don't fucking go over there. You get blown into the water, social rejection is going to hurt. If you just don't go, you won't have to have the social rejection. Obviously, you won't have a girlfriend either. So your body's trying to keep you safe. You have got to flip it. You had to practice flipping it to a positive. You imagine before you even walk. In a second, you imagine yourself. They love you, they think you're funny, you see them, all this. As you're walking over, you're imagining all this stuff, you practice doing it so quickly. Instead of the negative image, you're imagining the positive image of what you want to have happen instead. This is mental confidence. It is just changing the picture in your mind. You will clearly know this as I'm saying this. The one thing you wrote down as your goal for this webinar, the thing you want to get more confident in, you are visualizing yourself failing. You must be, otherwise you'd already be confident at it. So if you simply flip that, so for me, did this morning, I was talking about my ability to sell my boot camps and my coaching and things. I'm visualizing myself an uncomfortable sales call. I'm trying to push, they're not keen. It's just an uncomfortable situation. So I'm going to start visualizing before my phone calls, this is my perfect client. Not only do they want to come along, it's going to be an amazing experience for them. Not only is my coaching going to serve them, they want to be part of it. It is the best product for them. It's going to change their life in a positive way. And if it doesn't change their life or they don't have the money right now, I'm going to serve them in some way. I'm going to give them some value so it makes their life better at the very least. I'm premeditating, so I've got to practice using this as a new mental picture for my sales calls or my marketing, all this sort of stuff. You can do the same. That's what we're going to do right now. This is your clarify your mental image. So now write down the first mental image, the very first mental image that comes to mind when you think about this goal we've talked about. It's almost certainly going to be failure in some way. You're getting blown out of the water, you're getting rejected, you're getting laughed at, something like that. Okay, it's going to be some sort of failure. Get clear on what your mind naturally brings up. It's not a problem, it's not wrong, you're not broken because of it. It's just that your unconscious has got some past fears or some past hurt and it's trying to keep you safe. And if it shows you yourself failing, you most likely won't go do it, you won't get hurt, and you just stay in your comfort bubble, right? But your soul is driving you forward, so you've got to learn how to change that. So number 2 is a question, what would a confident person think instead? What would someone that's never been hurt, has always had success in this area, what would they think going into this? They think I'm going to succeed. So visualize, write down what would be a better way to think. Just write it down. Whether you can do it just yet, it's a different thing. Write down what would be a better way to think. The customer loves it. The girl loves me. They pay me the money. Success, whatever way it is. Visualize success, write it down right now. What is the successful outcome that you want to have instead? If you need some time, pause and finish that off. So now we're moving on to, we've done mental confidence, the mental pictures in your mind, okay? Now we're moving on to body confidence. This was explained really well the other day by Andrew Huberman on his podcast. He's talking about stress. When you are stressed out, it's hard to mentally change your picture, okay? When I'm getting ready for a fight, I'm backstage for a fight, it's hard to shift my image to me winning. If I'm feeling nervous, it's because I'm visualizing him getting a good shot in. I'm not sure how to, whatever. I'm visualizing going wrong. Make me feel nervous, okay? If I'm visualizing going right and I feel the energy, I'm excited. Same feeling in the body, different mental picture, okay? For me to take control of my mind, I have to take control of my body, and I do it through the breath before a fight. There's no point in me an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours before a fight getting pumped up. I'll dump my adrenaline and I'll be fucked in the fight. So I feel my adrenaline starting to bubble and I'm like, not now. I slow my breath down. I'm reading a book, I feel it bubble up, I slow my breath. I'm like, it's cool. I get it. I get why you want to do this. You're trying to protect me. You're seeing mental images. You think you're in the fight now. You're trying to protect me, cool, but now's not the right time. I have control of my breath, so I slow it down, right? If you control the body, it starts to control the mind. The mind leads the body and the body leads the mind. They work two ways. Once you can do that, you can have more control over that mental picture we just spoke about in the last slide. If your mental picture is continually negative, you might have to get rid of, slow down the body. If it's in a heightened state, nervous state, fearful state, it's going to want you to see the negative image because it doesn't want you to get hurt. You got to take control of that. You have to take control of your nervous system. Take control of it. Now, on this note, when I first started doing hypnotherapy and mindset coaching for people, I'd work with lots of women doing weight loss, and I asked them, what do you want to see when you look in the mirror instead of what you see right now? And almost always those women could not visualize it yet. One, maybe because they hadn't practiced it. Two, there might be some fear involved. What if I get skinny and I'm getting hit on by guys I don't want to, or there's some sort of background stuff there. So there can be fear, again, with the body involved with a mental picture, but it might just be you haven't rehearsed it enough yet, okay? You've got used to something. So this is, as much as it's like, oh, to change the picture in my mind, it's difficult. It's difficult to rewrite your programming. It takes practice, okay? So I just written this slide here. When you're not confident, look, shallow breath, stoop posture, you're tense. You can start to, with the breath is the best way, change your body with the breath, but also change your posture, okay? Shoulders back, chest out, chin up. Fake it. Fake your posture. You will start to change the mental pictures. It just happens. It does work. Again, you've got to be willing though. You've got to be in the deep end enough, invest yourself with money or time or something that you're willing to. It's still going to be scary going forward, but you're going to fake it. You fake it with the body and it will start to change the mind. You're still going to do the scary thing. You might feel more confident for it, but you've got to trick your body first into doing it because it knows it's going to be scary. It knows regardless. You've got to work on it to get the confidence in. You've got to practice it. So it can take you doing those things. And I just end here about the weak why and the strong why. The weak why, if you don't have a strong enough why for your goal, why you want it, the fear of potential loss and failure is going to be higher than the potential success. So unless you're strong enough in the why, your body, your nervous system can rule out. Your nervous system will win. When you have a strong why, you're like, I don't give a fuck what my nervous system wants. I don't give a fuck if I feel nervous. I'm going for this. And I'm going to, if I get blown out of the water or I fail, I'm still going to do it until I learn how to do it right. So I will go through the discomfort in my body, which is the only thing that ever holds you back. That's the only way your nervous system has to slow you down is through emotion. So understand that. If you can let the nervous system win, that's cool. But again, I've done webinars on purpose and passion. When there's things you keep getting pulled back towards, even though they're scary and you might fail, these are likely things that align with your purpose. If you, as soon as it gets hard, quit, it's probably not the thing for you. So the thing that you want to practice confidence, learn how to be confident, to go through the fear, these are things that align with, because even confidence, you've got to switch it on, and you've got to trick your body, because your body still knows you're going to go through the fear. So you've got to still switch it on. So you've got to take control of your nervous system. So with that, let's practice that. This is your chance to think about how a confident person would attack this particular goal. Again, you wrote down a goal at the start. Think about someone, a role model you've got that's already good at this. How does he walk? How does he move? How does he swing his arms? How does he breathe? How does he hold himself? And you start to fake it. And this is going to feel silly when you're doing this at home. And that's, again, based on if you are willing to look silly or feel silly for a goal, it's most likely a goal you need to go after. If you're not willing to look silly or get uncomfortable for this goal, it's not for you, right? So hold your body in a way. How does a confident person hold himself? How do they hold their facial expression? Are they tense? Are they darting their eyes around? Or are they still? Are they solid? Are they holding eye contact? Shoulders back, chest out, chin up is a basic easy one. Hands comfortably by your side. Control your breath. Slow, steady, deep. Control your breath. Control your breath, it controls pretty much everything else. But take control of your breath and you'll breathe your way into where you want. And now I just wrote down optional. If you had trouble in that last action I said about decide what the positive picture is that you want, like what do you want to see instead of the failure. Once you get your body in state and you slow your breath down, now don't try it, do it. Now make a mental picture of what you want. Get your body in state, keep your body in state, start searching, can I make a mental picture of me succeeding in this thing? Talking to the girl, success in the sales call, earning $1 million, whatever it is for you. Can I see myself now doing those things? Asking for the money and receiving it. Succeeding in that situation that I want to be confident. Holding your body changes the way your mind works. It just does. So notice if just you changing your posture, changing your breath, helps you change the mental picture. Body first, mind second. So what I just said then, lead your mental picture with the body. Confidence is, as I said, is a positive mental picture. That is confidence. If you can be lazy in your body, if you can actually still vividly see what you want, you'll be confident in it. The body, though, helps you make that mental picture clear. If you're in a stressful situation, if you're panicked, if there's a lot of trauma or nerves or whatever emotion around this particular thing for you, again, selling, whatever, the fear of rejection, if it's big for you, you've got to control your body first. So you can still feel the fear, but I can still feel the fear in my guts maybe, but I still, like before my fight, I can still feel the fear in my guts, but I control my breath. Cool, my fear's there. I can hold my posture right. I can walk out to the ring scared to death, but I don't let anyone know that, and I trick my own body into it. Okay, so you change your body, and it will help you change your mental picture, okay? I've got a few pictures of cliff jumping here because that's something that everyone can relate to. Not everyone can relate to being backstage in a fight or a bull ride. You've all been on a cliff jump into water before. Something that's a bit higher than what you're used to. And you get that feeling of, logically, you know you can do it. You might have even jumped this cliff before and you've been safe. Logically, you know it's possible, it's safe, but your body has, the nervous system is telling you, fuck, there's no point for this. This is potential risk and danger and death. There's no need to risk this, right? It's natural, it's doing its job. You mentally thinking, it's safe. I know it's safe. I know it's safe. Does not make you jump. You've all had the feeling of like, okay, I'm going to go. And then you get to the edge and don't go. To do that, when you've got a real high jump you're scared to death of, I know what I do when I'm like, I'm committed and I'm like, I'm going to fucking do this. Even though everyone else has already jumped, I'm scared to death. My body's screaming at me not to do it. I've got to get my body in state. So I grip my teeth. I'm not looking now for a positive picture. I don't want to see myself, oh, it's all good. I'm going to land in the water positively. At this point, I want to get my body, I'm going to grip my teeth. And all I want to do is get me off the edge. Once I'm off the edge, everything else is left to nature and gravity. Grip my teeth, get aggressive. And it doesn't mean I don't feel fear, but courage is when you feel fear, you go forward. Courage when I'm feeling fear and I fucking step forward anyway. That is using my body, okay? I've got to mentally say, body, we need to do this. Grip my teeth, fucking what do you need to do to fucking take the plunge, right? You've all had that experience before. Use the body to clear the mind. In this situation too, you can do the same. Use your body, get in the state, and we can talk about state here now, to get your mind moving and get you confident. But again, this whole seminar, I've been talking about confidence, but truth, I'm actually talking about courage. Confidence is a beautiful thing that can be, if I just say an instant confidence, this is it here, state control. But if you're waiting on confidence, it's like waiting on motivation. And it's great when you've got it. It's great when you're motivated and you can get up and exercise the morning day. You might have a few days, a few weeks. It's when discipline comes in, when the motivation's gone, you still do the things. That's when it counts. It's great feeling confident. But what about if on the day of the fight you're not feeling confident? That's when you want to take control. And I think I've got it in another slide I'll do. The next slide I'll talk about it. So let's talk about this instant confidence here, state. But we'll talk about the courage factor and what the similarity is shortly. Okay, instant confidence. This is Tony Robbins. If you don't know, the guy on the right here with screaming his guts out. He is the master, in my opinion, of state control. And he's got a great quote when he talks about his morning routine. He wakes up in the morning, he's like, I'm not going to hope I feel good, I make it happen. So he gets his body aligned, he gets his mind aligned, he gets his breath aligned, he jumps in a cold plunge. He makes his body do what he knows is good for him. He doesn't hope that he feels motivated. He makes it happen. So you can go look up some of his stuff on how to get in a state, but a very basic principle is what we've just spoken about is you get your body in state. You get your body in position first. Breath, body first. You start to breathe in a way that the version of you, the peak state you want is in to take action. Now, based on this, as I said earlier, confidence doesn't mean performance. So just because you're confident doesn't mean you're going to perform well. So get clear on what your goal is here. Is your goal just to take action, just to get moving, or is your goal to perform well? Because now when I get ready for a fight, as I said earlier, I don't just, okay, now I'm confident, I know it's going to go well. But that's not the case. I might be confident and lose. And I know I can be stressed and nervous for the fight and win because I've done it the last few times. So I don't, even though it's a bit more stressful, if my goal is performance, confidence doesn't matter that much to me. I'll worry more about the practice and training I've done beforehand. Okay? But as far as peak state goes, I can, when it's time for the fight, I know how I need to be in the ring. So even if I have to fake it, I'm going to create as best I can my body state. I get myself loose. That's what I want to do. I sort of fake it if I need to. If I'm feeling tight and nervous, fuck it. I want this bad enough that I'm willing to fake it. So I'll fake looseness. I'll sing songs and stuff on the way out to the ring. I have to sometimes to fake it to get myself into that free state, and then the free state can start to flow itself. So peak state will come from knowing what your end goal is. And sometimes that comes from having a couple of failures in that place and know that just by being confident doesn't mean the performance is going to be there. So get clear. Do you want to perform well, or do you want to get into taking action? It's going to be one of those two normally. Either one's fine, but what's the peak state for that? As I said, for cliff jumping, the peak state for performing well, if I'm a cliff jumper, is to be really relaxed and I know my whole body moves and everything's flowing and gentle. I'm not a cliff jumper. I just want to get off the fucking cliff so that gravity can take care of my fear. So my job isn't to be relaxed. I just want to get off that mother and be I don't mind being tense and everything. I don't perform well, but my job was to get off the cliff. Okay? So get clear on what the peak state is for you to get your job done and what your goal is. If your goal is just to get on the phone to make the sales call, you might have to, just get there, just do it. But if you want to perform well in the sales call, that's when you've got to be most likely still. You've practiced the call. You've got yourself into a state of smiling maybe, fake smile, relaxed, calm, know my product. I'm confident in my product. It'll take you getting in a state. Who is that person? Fake it. You're actually just faking it. You're faking how the body would be. You're faking how the breath would be. You're faking your facial expression. You're faking your mental pictures. All of it. You fake it. Confidence is, when you have to force confidence, is fake. If confidence comes naturally, this is not for this webinar. Confidence comes naturally. You just haven't had enough failure in that area yet to feel the fear. Anyway, moving on. This is real confidence. Okay, that quote I said earlier. My quote about confidence is the disregard of the fear of failure. Is what confidence is. But if you really want to feel confident, you want to practice. And here's the quote here. I train to be the best in the world on my worst day. That's Ronda Rousey, who's an ex-UFC champion. Khabib Nurmagomedov, it's the same thing. You want to be, when you're going in for a title fight, you've got a flu that day, you didn't sleep well, your wake up was really bad, you're nervous. That's that's the way you want to train, expecting that's how you're going to feel on fight day. Because if you're hoping you're going to be confident in the day and at your very best mentally, the odds of that happening are slim. You can practice confidence and flow state, all these things, I get it, but you want to train to your lowest. You want to make your lowest day still good enough to be the world champion, right? So practicing, not only practicing, talk about fighting again, on the day of the fight is when people want to feel confident so they don't feel fear. But that will matter more. The performance matters more in the 3 months of training camp. In every day of that training camp, did you really train as hard as you could have? Did you really give everything? Did you train as efficiently as you could have? All this has to run through your mind when you're in the backstage of the fight. So it's the practice makes confidence, makes true confidence. When you know that on a shit day you can still perform well, that's when you feel like, yeah, okay, I'm confident now. That gives you a depth of confidence. You still might feel nervous on the day. You still emotionally might feel unsettled. But there's a depth of confidence that is deeper inside your body. It's based on movement. It's based on movement you know inside yourself. This is the real depth of confidence. It comes from practice. But if you want that instant confidence, you can fake it. You can fake it to get performance, and it sometimes does work. But understand, depth of confidence is going to come from practice. And I don't know you don't want to hear that because you want some instant quick fixes. But again, as I said earlier, the things that you keep getting pulled back to that are scary or there's potential failure and you still keep going there, they're probably aligned with your purpose. So that's the things you want to get the confidence for. The things you go to as soon as it gets hard, even if you have the confidence tools, you quit, it's probably not for you. And that's something I haven't said yet. The reason I'm not teaching you heaps of tools here, I want to get you more depth of why to use these tools or how to change your mental state. Because I can teach tools. I know all the tools. I still don't use them all the time. I can teach men tools all the time about confidence with whatever. And just because they know the tool doesn't mean they're going to use them, because the fear gets in the way. Your body still knows you're going into a scary situation. It's when your soul or your heart is so driven on a goal that even though it's scary, you keep going, that's when you'll start to use the tools, right? So me teaching the tools is going to give you shit. Me giving you a depth of understanding of why you want them, that will serve you more, in my opinion. That's why I made the webinar this way. And what I've written down there, that's why I pay for practice. I pay for personal development. Like I just went recently to a thing called Chaos Camp. The Special Forces guys teach navigation because I want to spend more time in the bush. I'm paying in June to go with a guy called Adam Kavanagh to go live off the land, bow hunting. I can go do these things. I can go watch YouTube videos on navigation and go in the bush. But it's scary, it's uncomfortable, I don't know how to do it, and so I'd rather pay someone for the commitment to do the thing. I could go learn how to bow hunt. I can just go live on the land and starve for 20 days until I just definitely need food and I can come back to civilization. But there's fear and discomfort and there's uncertainty, and I'd rather pay someone who's done it. One, he can teach me skills, but I'm really paying for the commitment. I'm paying to put some skin in the game so that I have to do the thing. It's a skill I want to learn, and I might find out in this next course with Adam Kavanagh, oh, this isn't really for me. But something told me it was, so I did it, and I'm like, oh, it actually wasn't for me. But I've done it, and I know through experience, rather than just hoping. In my opinion, that's more of a full life. At least I'm giving it a go to see if it's for me. It might not be. Cool, I've learned. But I learned by doing. So I really pay for personal development, retreats, camps, everything, this sort of stuff, is really to force me into stuff I can do on my own. You can do all this stuff on your own. You can just watch YouTube videos. You can watch this webinar and hope for confidence. But I put some skin in the game, pay for coaching, pay for retreats, pay for whatever. It forces you to use the tools that you can learn anywhere in today's age. It's actually using them as the hard part. In summary, men, we want confidence to avoid fear. Challenge me if that's wrong, but you want confidence to avoid fear or discomfort in your body. That's the only reason you want confidence. So nothing wrong with that, but understand why you want confidence. If it's to perform well, confidence will not give that to you. Practice will give you a better chance of performing well. Confidence will not. But be wary of why you want it. And most likely it's just to avoid your fear, okay? Because it feels uncomfortable. Number two, because of that fear, that does not mean you're weak or broken, all right? We talked about the nervous system. Your nervous system's running perfect. You're meant to feel fear. You're meant to feel social anxiety and fear of rejection. Even though some guys you might see are not scared of social rejection, doesn't mean you're wrong. Your system's running well. They are exceptional, or they've practiced it, or they're scared of shit that you probably can handle and do really well. And they might look like they've got it all together. They might say they've got it all together. But any dude, you be wary of any dude who says he's got it all together, because he's not facing his true fears. If it seems confident in all areas, he is either very good at it and he's learnt these tools and he practices them regularly, or he's not facing his shit. So be wary of that. Number three, take back control of your nervous system. So even though it's not wrong that your nervous system's doing this, if you want to achieve shit and you keep getting called back through your purpose and by your heart, by your soul, by your spirit to do certain things, it's up to you to take back control of your nervous system. Your nervous system wants to keep you in the comfort zone. It wants to hold you back. It's like scared to death of you dying or getting hurt. So you got to fight that. You got to say, fuck it, I'm doing this anyway. So that's up to you. No one else can do that for you. Number four, courage and confidence comes from a strong why. As I said, courage and confidence are two sides of the same coin. until you're clear enough in why you would be willing to go through discomfort to get the thing, you're just going to hide in procrastination land and in your comfort zone. You've got to have a strong why. Get clear on how it's going to serve you. Get clear on how staying where you are is shit house and bad for you. Get clear on those two things until you're willing to, okay, just in expecting things to be hard on the way to a goal changes everything. You're like, oh, I expect it's going to be hard here. I expect I'm going to get rejected. So then you're already preparing. You're already pre-confidencing yourself. You're practicing confidence by expecting a hit. Someone knocks you back when you do a sales call. If you just expect everything to go right, and then your first sales call, it goes wrong, you're like, oh, fuck this, I'm not willing to do this. If you expect some no's or lots of no's, you are pre-ready for it. You're pre-confident. You're practicing, rehearsing confidence. Because you expect to hear a no. You're like, oh, I can handle this. You're confidently handling it, practicing, rehearsing in the future. I speak about this a lot. You are a time traveler, use that ability. Go in the future and practice being there already so you can rehearse it so that when you get there, it comes naturally. Courage is needed to get you to practice confidence. Yeah, no matter what, you are going to need to step into fear. No matter what, you'll spend all your day inside trying to get yourself in state so you can step outside and face the world. You're better off, in my opinion, in expecting fear and expecting things to be hard and having the ability to step through despite it is going to serve you more than learning how to be confident. Learning how to be confident. The courage that gets you to step forward will also be the thing that helps you step into using the tools that I've just taught you. I've just taught you a little bit of the tools. You can learn tools all over the internet. They mean shit unless you use them, and you won't use them if you're letting fear rule you. Feeling fear is okay. Feel the fear and then use the tools of confidence despite it. Okay, to keep moving forward and lead the mind with the body. That's just the end point here. You are confidence again. This is confidence, is when you seeing success. That is confidence. Confidence when you see success. Okay, think about it anywhere in your life. Anywhere you've been confident, be it in sport as a kid, be it in money, be it with women, whatever the thing is you feel confident in, you see success. You'll also know it when you've been confident and you've had a few failures and it hurt, then you're like, oh, I've lost my confidence. Because now you're starting to see failure. Because your body's like, oh, I don't want you to get failed. I don't want you to get hurt again. That's all confidence is just seeing success. If you can, whatever way you need to get your brain to do that, if it's using your body, if it's using Tony Robbins to get in a state, if it's breath work, if it's going for a run first, whatever you need to do to get your mind to see the successful image in your brain is confidence, right? And ultimately that is most likely going to pull you towards it too. But again, just because you see it in the brain doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it makes you feel better, makes you more likely to take action in that direction. That is it, homies. 53 minutes. That is a record length of one of our webinars. And I spoke super quick through it too, trying to keep it short, but I hope that's of service to you. I think that's good stuff. The last thing I want to advertise is my extreme stillness. I should have had another slide. Extreme stillness is my men's boot camp. So I do one-on-one coaching. If you want to work on courage, confidence, accountability, procrastination, emotional dramas, whatever, things that are keeping you stuck and not moving in action, your purpose, then consider one of these. I'm running 4 or 5 of them this year in Northern Territory, in Tasmania, in the desert, in the tropics, all over the place. So if you want to enhance yourself, if you want to enhance your mind, if you want to become more of the man you want to be, then have a look at the website, extremestillness.com. Until then, hope that is of service to you. Hope you got something from it. And until the next one, keep it real, homies. Peace out.